Assalamualaikum. Me and my group mate from Group C, we are going to present about regarding political, economic and legal system at Dubai. Assalamualaikum. My name is Noor and SHAFEQAH binti ZULKIFLI, matric number S56034. I'm going to present about background of the case. The political system is defined as the method through which law indicate the public resources are allocated in society, as well as the relationship that exists between those who make choice. The political system defines how government institutions collaborate to transfer citizen ambition or preference into law that govern the community. A political system is a group of formal legal bodies that come together to form a government or state. It is also possible to define the political system as a collection of interaction progress or as a system of a social system that interact with other subsystems other than the political system. Next is economic. In a given region or country, the economic system is the means by which community or government organize and distribute resource, service and good to their citizens. This is called an economic system. Economic system control that make things like land, capital, labor or physical resource, so they can be used to make a thing. An economic system is made up of a lot of different things like business, organization, decision making, process and computing habit. These things make up a community economic structure. Economies are different all over the world. Each of them have a unique personality, even though they all have the same basic trait. The last one is a legal system. Legal system is a make up of rule, procedure, and institution that allow both public and private action to be done legal. In other words, there is a way for people to understand and follow the law. It's about the right and responsibility is a lot of different ways. There are all group of law that make up a legal government of a country. It's an institution, principle, rule and method for regulation on how law or society work together. It's talk about how the authority of law and ethics work together.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SYUHADA matric number S55788. Today I will present one part which is case main issue. In terms of geography, climate, size, population mix, culture, political, economic and thus legal systems condition, Qatar is mostly different from the benchmark country. It is located on the east side of the Arabian Gulf in a small branch of the Arabian Peninsula. Since its independence in 1971, the country has been considered relatively young, with a small homogeneous indigenous population equal to a relatively international population of around 2.75 million in 2018. In the politics, Qatar is constitutional emirate with one advisory body ruled by hereditary emir from Al Thani. Almost all the major ministerial positions are held by members of the ruling family who are appointed by the emir. As soil revenue increased after World War II, tensions within the ruling family grew and several bloodless place come accurate. The emir power is limited by the need to retain the support of important family members, many of whom hold high-level government positions. Qatar political stability is aided by the ruling family homogeneity and the country wealth. The emir ruled in consultation with a council of ministers, Majlis al-Wuzara, and appointed advisory council, Majlis Ashura, under a provisional constitution enacted in 1972. Is economic. The country economy is almost entirely reliant and abundant oil and gas reserve. Over the last 2 decades, the country leadership has taken numerous steps to transition from a hydrocarbon-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. The most notable of this was introduction of Qatar Natural Vision 2030, which lays out a roadmap for Qatar economic transformation and human development while protecting the physical, natural and cultural environment. Lastly, Qatar legal system. According to the Qatar constitutions, Sharia law is the primary source of Qatari legislations. Sharia law governs family laws, inheritance and some criminal offences including adultery, robbery and murder. In Sharia-based family courts, a woman's testimony is worth half that of a man's and some in case a female witness is not admissible at all. In 2006, codified family law was introduced. In Qatar, wiping is used as a form of punishment for consuming alcohol or engaging in illicit sexual relationship. And lastly, because of Hanbali's interpretation of Sharia law, judicial punishment is common in Qatar. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is BATRISYA QISTINA binti ZALIZAN with metric number S55499. Okay, now I will continue present about literature review. Okay, for the political, in the United Arab Emirates, there are 7 historical tribal kings. The UAE has 7 sheikhdoms. Al-Khaimah and the Al-Quwain are ruled by the sheikh from Abu Dhabi. Each emirate contributes to the government-controlled UAE federal budget. So, okay, the UAE is a peaceful nation that constantly talks. In 1991, the UN joined the Arab League. Also, the UAE is still fighting terrorism. That's why the UAE is helping the US in Afghanistan. The UAE has also helped Middle Eastern countries, a global stabilizing force. Okay, next is the UAE has improved its political process to satisfy the countries. Satisfy the country's socio-economic needs and prepare its people for global development. It's worked with the Electoral College and the Federal National Council's election in 2006 marked major changes in UAE politics. Okay, they choose the FNC member till 2006. Since 2006, the FNC has had 20 electors and 20 emirs. Okay, continue with economic. This is due to stable politics and high oil price. Hydrocarbon extraction account for 60% of Abu Dhabi's GDP. Dubai economy is based on tourists and low inflation. But the UAE's economy is based on gas and oil output. The UAE is a good place to start the oil money. Now there is enough gas for 100 years. So next is less government investment and lower real estate price are slowing the UAE economy. In 2022, GDP growth declined to negative 4.9% from 1.7% in 2019. The world economy is improving and the postponing of Expo 2020 in Dubai has helped. The GDP is expected to grow 3.1% in 2021 and 2.6% in 2022. Okay, the next one is about legal system. Okay, the UAE is ruled by the Sharia law. However, it is not only the legislation. Okay, the Supreme Council of Rulers is the most powerful body of law in the UAE. The Supreme Council of Rulers approve the law after they are written. The UAE's highest court, the Court of Cassation, only hears legal cases. Okay, Dubai has rapidly found a strong regulatory system. This provides foreign business and investors confidence when investing or doing business in Dubai. Because the world is changing so rapidly, Dubai has chosen to modify its law and regulations. Okay, the constitution say the federation can make laws and each emirate can make its own. According to the constitution, some issues are only enacted and implemented by the federation, while others are left to each emirate's federal laws overrule laws. Okay, that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noor ZULAIKHA binti ALIAS and my metric number is S54270. I will present about case study analysis. Based on the journal review, the authors assume that historical, culture and political factors are to blame for the differences in the characteristics of legal system in different countries. Therefore, it also affects the link between the legal system environment and economic outcomes. So, Ghani Al-Dashef argues that the economic field is still far from having a complete and integrated understanding. This article displays some of the most recent research on the relationship between the legal system and economic growth. In addition, the author look at the literature to see how different parts of legal system affect individuals' economic behavior. Besides, Laporta and his co-authors did the first research on how legal system affects the economy. This study looked at how this legal characteristic correlated with different economic outcomes across a large number of countries. Because legal characteristics can be influenced by economic outcomes, correlation between legal characteristics and economic outcomes cannot interpreted as causal relationships. As a result, the authors solved the problem by using instrumental variables. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irdiena binti BAKAR and my metric number is S55306. And today I'll be present the for my part, which is the case analysis. And the case analysis that I analyze is the transformation in Saudi Arabia. And second case is a critical comparative review of emergency and disaster management in Arab world. So the cases is about the Middle East country where both has different problem. Where one is about how they used oil revenue to cover the cost, and the later case is about how they mismanagement when the disaster and the emergency is happen. We know that Arab is a theocratic totalitarianism where the principle is based on Islamic, and according to the cases, the tradition is broke where they started to lose the moral, and they also start to promote moderate Islam, open to the world and all religion. The other problem is unemployment rate where they rank at 15 over 24 of G20 country, which it is quite high. And in the case study, it has mentioned that the unemployment is high, which 12%, and the high unemployment reflect that the fact that there are jobs available, but most of them is taken by the foreign workers. They were also poor in manage disaster and emergency when they themselves is one of rich country. And as a developed country, they should avoid the problem and comes with a plan or improvise their management that can help in sustain the country for a long time. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you.